Okay, so Captain America Brave New World has been getting reviews that I can best describe as very, very mixed, I should say. There are people on one side saying this thing is supremely ass, and people on the other saying that those people are lying. It's not as bad as they actually say. Well, I had the opportunity to check out Captain America Brave New World tonight, and it could just be me or the 3 edibles that I took before I watched this movie, but I gotta side with the people that say it's not as bad as they say. Personally, I had a lot of fun with this movie. It is literally one big Saturday morning cartoon. And for me, that was personally enough. Now look, does this movie have its issues? Yes, and we will talk about those. But I personally had to take this movie for what it was. We are watching Anthony Mackie as the brand new Captain America with no superpowers, no super serum in his body take on Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. Yeah, it's going to be a little exaggerated, and I'm personally glad they took the Saturday morning cartoon route because, honestly, it's entertaining as hell for the right and wrong reasons, but it's a lot of fun in my opinion. Now look, again, it could just be me or the 3 edibles that I took before this movie, but the action, in my opinion, was outstanding. The hand-to-hand combat was ridiculous. Now, some stuff, yes, looks a little cringe with the CGI, but honestly, I'm able to ignore it because, again, this movie literally just gives Saturday morning cartoon vibes, and I was all there for it because, again, the hand-to-hand combat is ridiculous, and some of the shit, the action is pretty brutal. You can feel a lot of these hits that are happening in this movie. And I'm not necessarily sure if it was the IMAX sounds enhancing the impact of the shield hitting people, or again, if it was those 3 edibles that I took before the movie, and apologies for me keep bringing that up, but I just got to tell you guys, that enhances your experience 1,000 times over. But it got me thinking. Getting hit by Captain America's shield must hurt like fuck because the sounds that this shield was making when it was hitting people made me realize your face should be broken getting hit by something like that, especially how hard he's throwing it at people. That would ruin my entire day getting hit by that thing. But the action was really cool, and Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson held it down as Captain America. Look, I gotta take a second to absolutely applaud the stay-down work ethic that Anthony Mackie has had. I mean, guys, this brother went from, and Clarence's parents had a real good marriage, to tech from crossover. Now he's Captain America. I mean, bro, hats off to you. Like, no, that's impressive as hell. That is a stay-down kind of career, and I really, really enjoy watching Anthony Mackie as Captain America. Well, I'll say this movie definitely solidifies it. I think he can definitely hold it down as the Avengers' new leader. I would love to see him interact with the Avengers and, you know, build this new team together. I'm excited for it. Now, at the same time, like I keep describing, this movie is a Saturday morning cartoon, so it's got a lot of cheesiness in it, but personally, for what the movie's worth, again, you got it. You got a non-superpowered guy with no super serum fighting the Red Hulk. Take it for what it is. It's just supposed to be a lot of fun, but with that fun comes a lot of cheesiness, a lot of corny moments, and some laughable ones at that. So as we're now segueing into my problems with the movie, Harrison Ford isn't necessarily a bad problem. The thing about it is his performance is absolutely hysterical. You're literally watching an old, frail, skinny-ass man throw a hissy fit and end up turning into the Red Hulk. He is progressively getting more and more angrier. You're watching an old man throw a tantrum and end up having the ability to turn into a Hulk. It's one of the funniest things I think I might see all year. I could not stop laughing. And I don't think these moments are necessarily supposed to be funny, but it's just throughout the movie, Harrison Ford is getting progressively angrier and angrier to lead up to his transformation, which I will talk about that in just a second, which is the biggest problem about the movie. But it's just watching him watching Harrison Ford get upset. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. There's literally a moment where this dude drops his pills on the floor. I didn't mean to. I truly did not mean to laugh as loud as I did, but I bust out dying laughing at that part. I mean, the tantrums and hissy fits that I was watching this man throw in this movie made me realize that maybe Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross needs to have a sit down with Harrison Ford's character from Shrinking. They need to meet because clearly he needs that character badly in his life. Now, my biggest issue with the movie, and where I can honestly see a lot of people disconnecting and saying this is mid, this is ass, blah, 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 is the fact that this movie treats us like we're morons. I mean, this movie literally spends the entire plot time, the entirety of it, building up to something we already know is coming. All of the commercials, all of the advertisements, literally everything we've seen about this movie, including this poster right here, tells us what's coming. And the movie just treats it like it's some big surprise. Now, granted, one thing that is a little bit of surprise is this movie kind of plays as a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, and it really ties back to a lot of things that happened in that movie, which I thought was pretty cool. But again, other than those little hints and those little throwbacks, the entire movie spends time with a villain from The Incredible Hulk, or a villain now from The Incredible Hulk, spends the entire time building up to what we all know is coming and has no shock value whatsoever. Now, once we get to the part that the movie is building up to, which again has no shock value whatsoever and isn't a spoiler at all, because again, it was in every single advertisement for this movie. Once we get to the part where Harrison Ford turns into the Red Hulk, there's cool moments. It's definitely a cool moment because watching the Red Hulk fuck shit up is awesome. Sam Wilson has, the help of some Wakanda tech, which is awesome, and he has some really cool moves. I mean, look, like I said, this movie literally builds it up to the point where I can ignore the fact that I'm watching the Red Hulk fight a guy with no powers whatsoever, because they really do a good job of making Sam seem like a badass in this movie. Like, seriously, the fighting is insane. Now, again, the Red Hulk stuff is pretty cool, and honestly, they do spend the entire movie kind of giving you unrealistic expectations, because there's this girl in this movie that is literally like 4'5", and she's kicking everybody's ass. Granted, it's all awesome to see, but I promise you, there's so much like quote-unquote unrealistic shit happening in this movie. Once you get to Sam fighting the Red Hulk, that really ain't the craziest shit you've seen in this movie. I mean, Giancarlo Esposito is, he's fucking awesome. Period, always. But like, there's just a lot of crazy, quote-unquote, unrealistic, kind of fights, or fight matchups, I should say, happening in this movie. So again, once we get to Falcon and Red Hulk, that ain't, you kind of expect that to happen at this point. As far as Danny Ramirez's character, I personally thought he was very hit or miss. I thought him portraying the character was actually really good. He did as best as a job as he could. It's just, there's a lot of cheesy moments that either are going to work for you or they don't. For me, a good portion of them didn't, but his character grew on me definitely towards the end with the emotional parts. He was cool, nothing crazy. I absolutely love the relationship between Sam and Isaiah Bradley. I thought that was one of the strongest points of Falcon and Winter Soldier, other than, of course, Bucky and Sam's relationship. But Sam and Isaiah Bradley's relationship here is one of the driving forces of the movie, the heartbeat of the film. And honestly, like I said, guys, this is just one big Saturday morning cartoon. If you walk in with that mindset, literally telling yourself, at some point in time, I'm going to, again, see the new Captain America with no super serum, no powers whatsoever, not like he needs it, I guess, fighting the Red Hulk, you tell yourself that, you're literally going to be like, all right, I'm going to see some unrealistic stuff or unrealistic fighting matchups. And honestly, I can have fun with that. And although the movie is super predictable and has its issues, if you walk in just telling yourself that you are about to watch one big 2-hour Saturday morning cartoon where at some point in time you're going to see, again, the brand new Captain America with no super serum, no superpowers whatsoever, hold his own against the Red Hulk, you can actually sit back and have a great time with this movie because it's a lot of fun. The action scenes are amazing. I personally was a fan of Sam Wilson as Captain America. Love Anthony Mackie's portrayal. Harrison Ford is hilarious for all the right and wrong reasons, just because watching him get angry is fucking hysterical. But at the same time, like I said, guys, it's a fun movie. There's really no point in trying to hate. I understand people are begging for peak Marvel to come back. Just take your time, because clearly they have a story. They want to go somewhere. They address the Celestials finally. Let's just have fun. That's really what all this movie is asking us to do. Let's just have fun. This one we don't really have to take too seriously. Although, again, it just really treated us very stupid as fans. But regardless, it's fun. Just sit back, relax, and watch some crazy shit blow up.